everyone, it's Janine here, and in today's video we are going to be learning how to solve quadratic equations using the quadratic formula. So quadratic equations have the following form. So we have ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0, and a, b, and c are constants. So a is the coefficient in front of our x squared term, b is the coefficient in front of our x term, and c is our constant term. And so we can solve these types of equations using the quadratic formula, which tells us that x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. And so the x values obtained using the quadratic formula are the solutions to our quadratic equation. So let's go ahead and take a look at some examples and apply this. So in this first example here, we have x squared plus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. So as our first step, let's go ahead and identify what a, b, and c are equal to. So a is the coefficient corresponding to our x squared term, so here a is equal to 1. B is the coefficient corresponding to our x term, so here b is equal to 5. And c is our constant term, which is equal to 6. And now let's go ahead and plug in a, b, and c into our quadratic formula. So we have x is equal to negative b, so we have negative 5, plus or minus the square root of b squared, so we have 5 squared minus 4 ac. So a is equal to 1, and c is equal to 6. And this is all over 2a. So we have 2 times 1. And now let's go ahead and simplify this. So we have negative 5 plus or minus the square root of 5 squared, which is equal to 25. And we have minus 4 times 1 times 6, so that is equal to 24. And this is over 2 times 1. So 2 times 1 is just equal to 2. And now let's go ahead and simplify this further. So we have negative 5 plus or minus the square root of 25 minus 24, which is equal to 1, and this is over 2. And from here we can simplify this further because the square root of 1 is just equal to 1, so we have negative 5 plus or minus 1 over 2. And now we can go ahead and break this down into our two cases. So in our first case, we have x is equal to negative 5 plus 1 over 2. And for our second case, we have x is equal to negative 5 minus 1 over 2. And now let's go ahead and simplify. So here we have negative 5 plus 1, which is equal to negative 4, and this is over 2. And so simplifying this, we have x is equal to negative 2. And here we have negative 5 minus 1 in the numerator, which simplifies down to negative 6, and this is over 2. And so simplifying this, we have x is equal to negative 3. And so our two solutions, or roots to our quadratic equation, are x is equal to negative 2 and x is equal to negative 3. And now let's go and take a look at one more example. So in this next example here, we have x squared plus 6x minus 40 is equal to 0. And for our first step, let's go ahead and identify what a, b, and c are equal to. And so remember that a is just the coefficient corresponding to our x squared term, which in this case is equal to 1. B is the coefficient corresponding to our x term, which is equal to 6 in this case. And c is equal to our constant term, which is equal to negative 40. And as our next step, let's go ahead and plug in a, b, and c into our quadratic formula. So we have x is equal to negative b, so we have negative 6 plus or minus the square root of b squared, so here b is equal to 6, so we have 6 squared minus 4ac, and so a is equal to 1, and c is equal to negative 40, and this is over 2a, so we have 2 times 1. And now let's go ahead and simplify this. So we have negative 6 plus or minus the square root of 6 squared, which is equal to 36. And then we have minus 4 times 1 times negative 40, which is equal to a positive 160. And this is over 2 times 1, which is just equal to 2. And from here, let's go ahead and simplify this. So we have negative 6 plus or minus the square root of 36 plus 160, which is equal to 196, and this is all over 2. And from here, we can go ahead and simplify this down further because we know that the square root of 196 is equal to 14. So we have negative 6 plus or minus 14 over 2. And from here, we can go ahead and break this down into our two cases. So in case 1, we have negative 6 plus 14 over 2. And in our second case, we have negative 6 minus 14 over 2. So we have x is equal to negative 6 minus 14 over 2. And let's go ahead and simplify these two cases. And so in this first case here, we have x is equal to negative 6 plus 14 over 2. So let's go ahead and simplify this. So negative 6 plus 14 is equal to 8, and this is over 2. And so for our first case, we have x is equal to 4. In our second case, we have x is equal to negative 6 minus 14 over 2. And we can go ahead and simplify this. So negative 6 minus 14 is equal to negative 20, and this is over 2. And so simplifying this, we have x is equal to negative 10. And so that is how you solve quadratic equations using the quadratic formula. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.